Chapter 8. The Grand Finale. In this episode, I would like to give you some suggestions. Let's take this episode as a grand finale for us. Previously, we got to know Chinese, researched and discussed specific aspects of Chinese, as well as some approaches and directions for learning Chinese. Okay, smart guy, now that we've reached the grand finale, do you have anything you'd like to say or do?
Today, in this grand finale, what I want to say is that in the previous chapters, we've learned a lot about Chinese and gained many tools and tricks for studying Chinese. So what I'm going to do is to learn Chinese pronunciation as much as possible and acquire more Chinese characters. How about that? Will I quickly reach our ultimate goal? Speaking Chinese like a native.
Well, I believe in your intelligence and determination. You can learn pronunciation, you can learn Chinese characters, and you have many learning tools and tricks, etc. These are like the provisions, water, car, fuel, and supplies, and the like that you have on your journey as you speed down the road of learning Chinese. However, we need to make one thing clear, which is, you have to first find this road and step onto it to reach your goal, right? That's the key. This road is all about receiving Chinese signals and transmitting Chinese signals. By the way, I've mentioned 2 suggestions before, and I believe each one can guide you onto the right road. Number 1. Google Translate. Find some content that interests you, translate it, and then understand and learn from it, both in terms of pronunciation and meaning.
齐老太爷什么也不怕，只怕庆不了80大寿。
Mr. Chi is not afraid of anything except that he will not be able to celebrate his 80th birthday.
Number 2. Chinese songs. Give Chinese songs a listen, you might develop a liking for them. Understand the lyrics' content and learn them. Now, I'll give you a third suggestion. Chinese movies or TV dramas. As most of us are aware, the best way to learn a foreign language is to live in the country where it's spoken. However, we have to face the harsh reality. After all, flying from Alaska to China takes roughly 30 hours, and the flight from Iceland to China isn't much different. So, considering the time and jet lag, movies and TV dramas, on the other hand, offer a more jet lag-friendly passport to China. It is another immersive option for all of us. I suggest giving it a try because it's all shot in China. Chinese streets, Chinese people, Chinese dialogues, and more. Here, I'm recommending a list of TV dramas for you. Number 1. You can see the simple life course of an ordinary Chinese young lad in this TV drama. So, you can study the Chinese used in it, very authentic Chinese, full of life and vitality. However, there are some scenes where they speak in dialects, so...
Viewer discretion is advised.
哎，这镯子咋回事啊？镯子团还要不要？哎。来，请我牛同志。
Okay, now let's take a look at how everyday conversations unfold in an ordinary Chinese household. The location of this dialogue is in this province. Therefore, the dialect used bears the characteristics of this province. This word, I think we can understand it as the equivalent of this. Although it doesn't have a literal meaning, it conveys a rich and nuanced significance. This word,
这
means this is.
桌子
This term
咋
is a relatively typical regional dialect expression equivalent to the standard Mandarin.
怎么
This term
回事？
is a bit complex. Firstly, the character itself has its literal meaning. For example,
回
it means come back, go back, or turn back, etc. It also has a meaning similar to the English word chapter, such as Chapter 1,
第一回
Chapter 2.
第二回
There is another meaning, for instance,
一回
one time,
两回
2 times, and so on. Well, it seems to be getting more and more complicated.
No worries, I'm completely lost in your words. Carry on, I'll just nod and smile.
My bad. Apologize, folks. Alright, let's wipe away these complex details, so we can understand this term as Something happened, leading to certain outcomes. You know these outcomes, but now you want to know what caused them.
Buddy, it seems to have gotten even more complicated now. Can we bring back what we wiped away earlier?
Don't be so picky, my dear fella. Just as I suggested earlier, start by learning individual characters, then move on to compound characters, and then delve into compound words, and so on. Following this historical process, it won't seem so difficult. So, let's just understand it as what happened. Now this word. I think we can roughly understand it as follows.
Who do you think got you out of jail, huh?
So this sentence in English can be translated as, Hey, what's going on with this desk, huh? We continue.
桌子腿
Means the legs of the desk. This character is still a bit complex, but at this stage, let's not complicate things for ourselves. For now, let's understand its function as when something happens leading to certain results and you care about these results because they make you uncomfortable or worried about potential negative consequences. So now you're going to blame the things that caused these results.
Do you call this not complicate things for ourselves? You're making it sound even more complicated. Come on, keep it simple for everybody's sake.
Well, if that's the case, let's understand it as expressing some dissatisfaction or reproach. Simple enough, right? This term
要不要
is still a bit complex. Let's just understand it as want it or not. Because if this buddy drags the table like this, the table legs might break as they hit the steps, and their family could lose a dining table. That's the concerning. So this sentence in English can be translated as do we still need the legs of the desk or not? We continue. This character
来
means come. We can understand it here as come on or something like that. The old man repeats it several times, expressing a very enthusiastic mood, urging this comrade to start eating quickly.
解放军
Is PLA and
同志
means comrade, or can be simplified as buddy. This word repeated twice. Responses from this buddy can be understood as yes, or simply as okay, thank you. So this sentence in English can be translated as come on, buddy. Okay, thank you. Number 2. It is another TV drama that is very close to daily life and is also excellent. So, you can also study the Chinese used in it, very authentic Chinese, full of life and vitality either. The language used here is not standard Mandarin, but rather Mandarin with a regional accent, so
Viewer discretion is advised.
干啥？你在那说，怎么？我说，干啥你？干啥你？你说干啥？干啥？瞅你啊！啊！一个说，大家冷静，去一边去，一边去，滚犊子！那边说，我干啥你？快走！给我啥玩意儿？谁给我讲东西？大哥，平安没事吧？没事。没事，没念。妈呀，这娘们太猛了。
Alright, let's take another look. This dialogue is happening in this province. So the dialect bears the characteristics of this region. The differences from Mandarin are not significant. Now let's briefly discuss some colloquial expressions and dialect phrases that appear in this scene. Firstly, this one.
哪根葱
The meaning of this expression is accurately captured in our English translation as who the hell are you? Or who the hell do you think you are? The meaning are quite close. Next is
滚犊子
a phrase unique to this dialect area. It's equivalent to
滚
in Mandarin. Our English translation already accurately conveys its meaning. Piss off. The meaning are quite similar. Number 3. This is a perfect TV drama because it perfectly shows what China would be like 2,000 years ago. You can consider the scenes in this drama as a realistic portrayal of ancient China over 2,000 years ago. So, you can try to understand the Chinese used in it. Perhaps you're interested in history. By the way, that era in Europe should be the Roman period. The language used here is standard Mandarin but with the speech characteristics of that era, so
Viewer discretion is advised.
快请！俺姓张，名飞，字翼德，某姓关，名羽，字云长，河东解良人。在下刘备，刘玄德。 请，请。
Okay, let's continue. Let's explore the situation in China 2,000 years ago, delve into the daily life and conversations of the people during that era. The first fella says, this word
俺
is equivalent to
我
in Mandarin, meaning I. This is a common expression in some dialect areas and was popular in ancient times. This
姓
means family name, and this
张
is one of the family names popular in China. This word
名
means first name, so this fella's first name is.
非
Now this part seems a bit complex,
字
but we can understand it by comparing it to the Christian concept of Christian name. In China, a person's first name is given by parents at birth. Around the age of 20, a Christian name is given, which others use to address him. Therefore, this fella's Christian name is.
易德
Now, the second fella says, this word
某
also equals
我
in Mandarin, meaning I. This was a popular usage in ancient China. The following part is his name. So, smart guy, tell me, what is his family name, first name, and Christian name?
Well, the family name is Guan. Please forgive my pronunciation. I know, my pronunciation isn't quite standard. You know, even though I'm a master now, pronunciation still takes time, right? The first name is Yue, and the Christian name is Yun Chang, her Dong Xiao Liangren. His Christian name is quite long, so maybe my pronunciation is a bit challenging. I apologize.
Considering my English pronunciation, I really think your Chinese pronunciation is quite good. I just have one concern, which is your definition of this guy's Christian name. I'd like to ask, smart guy, if there's a whole paragraph of text after this character.
字
Wouldn't you consider that maybe not all of that is this guy's Christian name? There's a comma there, can't you see it?
I thought this was a special policy in Chinese. The world is so big, how do you know what others' rules are?
Well, fair enough. Now, pay attention to the rules. His Christian name is,
云长
and
河东解良人
indicates where he's from, referring to a place, his hometown. You can understand these characters as California, San Francisco's people. Let's continue. The third fella says, this word
在下
equals
我
in Mandarin, meaning I.
I've noticed that when these three people introduce themselves, they use three different pronouns. Is this a Chinese rule? Like using this word, on, when wearing black, this word, mao, when wearing a hat, and maybe this word, zai xia, if you're particularly good looking?
Well, a big no to you. Because in ancient times, people had different social statuses and education levels, so everyday language could vary. It's a quite complex system, so let's not bother with it. So, you see, Chinese streets, Chinese people, and Chinese conversations. Sitting on the sofa at home, have an icy beer, and enjoy the comfortable experience of the Chinese linguistic environment. Why endure the 30-hour ordeal of travel? These 3 TV dramas we discussed can all be found on YouTube, and there seems to be versions with English subtitles. The English subtitles may not be very good, but it's better than nothing, right? These 3 suggestions are based on my own experience learning English, and I assume they should be equally applicable to you fellas for learning Chinese. Our goal is to learn a foreign language with a joyful mindset, as you will gain more joy through learning. And the most important thing is, don't forget all those things and tricks we've delved into. They'll come to your rescue. Good luck to everyone. Have fun.
Adios.